play with the deck. So let's do this one, and I'll re-upload this part of this clip to YouTube and Twitch to you. So what we're going to do in this part of the video, guys, I'm going to go through and break down how to use a Gladiator Beast deck kind of start to finish. So this way, if you guys ever decide to build one, or maybe you have one built and you're looking on improving it, or maybe you're, like I said, thinking of building it, you know, it gives you an idea of how the deck works. So we're going second, which is great because we're really a go in second deck. Not that I can't go first with this deck and do some good stuff, because I definitely can. Alright guys, so we definitely got a really good hand. So I'm going to go ahead and activate. Yeah, let's go ahead and activate. I'm going to go ahead and activate the Gladiator Beast comeback. I'm going to use the Laquaria. We'll summon the Laquaria in my hand, guys. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to summon the Atorix as well from my hand for my normal summon for the turn. And then what we're going to do, guys, we're going to jump right next into a Link summon. We're going to Link summon into our Test Panther. Because I need two Gladiator Beast, well, at least one Gladiator Beast monster and another card. So you can use like a token to play him. I usually use the security token that I have in the deck. But you have to have at least one Gladiator Beast monster. And when you Link summon, you notice both your cards go to the graveyard. When he summon his effect activates, I can pull one Gladiator Beast card from my deck to my hand. I'm going to want to pull Comeback. So we're going to pull Comeback from the deck to our hand, guys. And we're going to activate Comeback. This is the part that you're always the weakest, unfortunately, at this your deck, guys. If they impermed that, there would have been nothing I could have done with the hand that I've gotten. So a lot of the times when you don't draw nothing, you can kind of special summon from your hand. If you and you have to go for Test Panther first, you're really weak. So if they imperm him or negate his effect in any way, it really hurts you and it basically stops your entire move. That's why I'm trying to work on the deck to do a little bit more, so I don't have to do that as much, which I've gotten it fixed a little bit, but it's still not, you know, perfect yet. So I'm going to use its effect returns them to the deck, guys, and then they get their effect. So I'm going to use his effect to bring out Augustus, which Augustus will get his effect. And what I'm going to use it to do to special summon the Atorix from my hand, and it special summons in defense. Atorix effect will activate since it was special summoned by the effect of a Gladiator Beast monster, guys. And its effect is to send, it's basically like a Foolish Burial, but what it does is it sends it to the graveyard, a Gladiator Beast monster, and then it copies its name and its level. So now what I can do is now I can fusion summon our Tame Editor. We can go right into Tame Editor. And now with Tame Editor's effect, guys, I can activate it. What it lets me do is it lets me special summon one of the higher, basically, fusion leveled monsters. As you can see, that's all what's here for Gladiator Beast, so I can special one of the higher ones. I'm going to bring out Gazaris, guys, because I want to pop both of his cards. So that's exactly what we're going to do, is we're going to pop both of his cards with Gazaris. Alrighty, so we've got all of that. There's nothing else we can kind of do. We'll go ahead and activate the Proving Ground, guys, so I can go into another good combo here in a second to add back a Torix from our deck to our hand. It's very important that I did that. It'll make sense here in a second when we go into main phase 2. So then I'm going to go into battle phase, and we want to make sure that I attack with all of our cards. We'll do some good bit of damage. We won't be able to completely kill him first turn, but with the hand that we got, that's the best damage that we could do, which is not bad for a first turn at all. Definitely not bad at all. And then we want to activate our effects, guys. So we want to put Gazaris back in the deck. And then what we want to do is we want to bring out Augustus, and we'll bring out Vesperius. Then we're going to use Augustus effect like we talked about, guys. His effect again, then we'll toss, this time we'll toss one of the Augustus in the graveyard. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm also going to return the Tame Editor. And then what we'll do, guys, we'll summon another, oh no, let's do, okay, well, that's fine, because I want to leave the card in my hand. Alright, so what we're going to then do, guys, is then we're going to replay Tame Editor. So this way we end on a very nice board. Alrighty, and then we will activate his effect. I'm going to bring out Dalmatianus, guys. And I'll go over what he does here in a second after we finish our move. And then we're going to fusion summon again, guys, another Tame Editor. By using our Vespers and our Augustus. Then we'll activate his effect too. He's not a hard once per turn, guys, so I can do it as many times as I play him. So that's really good with the deck. And then I'm going to use his effect to bring out Heraclinos. So what we've done now, guys, is with Dalmatianus, I can pick their attack target. So when they go to attack, I can pick which Gladiator Beast monster they attack, including himself. Also, I can negate one effect once per turn as a quick effect. With Heraclinos, I can discard a card from my hand, as many cards as I have in my hand, to basically negate that many spell cards. You know, at any time, it's not a once per turn effect, just based on the number of cards I have in my hand, I can negate that many spell or trap cards. So we've got a pretty good lockdown with this board, so I'm going to go ahead and end my turn, guys. Let our opponent go, but we should definitely have game next turn. It's going to be very hard for them to get out of this, because yet again, I can negate one effect, I can pick what they attack, and I can negate one of their spell or trap cards from their hand. So they've got 5 cards, so they've got a pretty good size hand. The deck that he's using should be the, it's definitely a Cyberverse. It's probably the, we haven't seen him play any of the links, so it may not be a Code Talker, but he did have some cards in it, so I guess we'll see what he has. Okay, so he's using the little at-ones is what I call them. He's already normal summon, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and take the chance and negate his effect, and assuming that's probably all that he's got, and yet again he's already used his normal summon for the turn. And that's all that he had, so that was his best bet, is that going. So that's definitely good for us. So I'm going to go ahead and activate Tame Editor's effect. We'll bring out Gazaris, guys. And then I'm going to use Gazaris' effect to pop his back row card. But as you can see with the Gladiator Beast, guys, they're really mostly about, you know, special summoning and really kind of cycling with the deck. And also with the graveyard, a lot of people forget they really cycle with the graveyard. So anything really out I can reuse. So getting stuff out of the deck really is the biggest thing, is you want stuff hitting the graveyard. That's why I kept tossing stuff in the graveyard. Like you saw me toss the Augustus and the Vespers. So if I ever need to use them later on with a comeback or with other stuff that I can do in the deck, it's very easy for me to get to them. So that helps out a lot. So what we can do too, guys, since we're going over how to play, I'm going to go into Appaloosa just to show you guys how to play in this video, how to play some of the higher. I don't need to play her, of course, but we're going to play her. I'm going to just show you guys how to play her, basically. So she's a Link level 4, so I have to have at least 4 different ones. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use our Test Panther in this case. Let me actually use his effect first, and then we will use him. Swap him out. And then what I'm going to do, guys, is then we're going to go for Appaloosa. So I'm going to use Test Panther to count as 2. Now I could choose to count it as 1, guys, if I wanted to use the full 4 monsters. In this case I don't, so I'm going to use it to count for 2. And then I'm also going to use it to count my Gazaris, because we've already used Gazaris' effect. And I'll use it to count my Vespers that we just special summoned and send them all. They all get sent to the graveyard when you go to Link Summon, or anytime you Link Summon. Now Appaloosa, so I can play Appaloosa here, guys, or here since my opponent has it used. You can't use both of them. You can only, you know, one or the other. So when I go to Link Summon, now I can Link Summon where the arrows point, except for my opponent's side of the field, of course. But I can Link Summon other Link monsters here, this zone, or this zone, but of course this one's taken up. So we'll go ahead and use Tame Editor's effect. I'll go ahead and bring out another Dalmatianus. So now we can negate 2 effects a turn, guys, their turn or ours. Plus we also have Appaloosa to negate effects too. So we have several negates on the board, and now we can negate 2 spell or trap cards, since we still have Heraclinos and I have an extra card in my hand. So we're gonna go ahead and go for a game, guys. I'm gonna attack. We'll attack with Appaloosa and go for the win. Alright, well, that's the end of that one, guys. I hope you guys found this video helpful to kind of help understand the Gladiator Beast and how they work. and really just kind of how to play the game a little bit. I don't know if we didn't go over everything, but we went over, you know, as much as with the cards that I drew that I could explain in today's video. But if you guys any other decks that you guys would like to see me do this with, just comment them down below, and then if I've got the cards on the game, which more than likely I do, I'll be more than happy to build the deck and then do it on stream, or just make a separate video like I did for this particular one. But if you guys haven't got subscribed, make sure you subscribe. If you haven't smashed the like button, make sure you guys do that. And like always, I appreciate you guys taking the time and watching these videos.